Who knows? Let's start. Oh, it's starting time. Oh, it's starting time. Oh, and I gotta lock my chair. Hello. We're gonna be, of course, doing some more GraphQL today. But I thought we would start off with a little bit of Rust practice, since I am doing a horrible job of doing it on my own. Horrible job of doing it on my own. Somewhere I have a doc shared with some things. This is one of them. This is what I was looking for. So, I should actually, oh, I should put my name here. Cool. So is this gonna be as nice as the Rust book? No, but I really liked that they have like a ton of examples down here. Developer environment and basic setup. Why is Rust a good choice for a data engineer? For data engineering. What is data engineering? Well, that'll tell you. The argument is that Rust is a memory-safe alternative to C, C++. Well, yes. Doesn't matter that much to data engineers since we don't usually use C or C++. No, they don't. But should you? What is much more important is Rust is a systems programming language which enforces a certain approach to programming, at the same time efficient and good at eliminating a whole category of errors. I could say the same thing about Go. But I can't compare Rust to Go because they solve different problems. Work in progress. So there's only the beginning. If there's one thing I've learned when launching one of these things, is that don't start with your outline. Anyway. We were on functions? Yeah, we did the functions. Comments. Let's do... I'll... Is the music too loud for me to just read it? What's the music at? There we go. All programmers strive to make their code easy to understand, but sometimes extra explanation is warranted. Yes. In the case programmers leave comments in their source code that the compiler will ignore, but people reading the source code may find useful. Here's a question. I know nobody's on the stream yet, so we'll have to bring this up later. Is there like a way to send a post later? Also, yeah, let's go ahead and send a Twitter poll. That's it. This is the only thing I know how to do, is send Twitter polls. And then also do the same thing on LinkedIn, because I have a disparate follower. weird, disparate. No, that's not good. And also not accurate. Hardest working state. Oh my gosh. Not accurate. Okay, no. There's polls. I know there are polls. That's what I wanted. I have a couple of polls, and so if you're on chat, if you're on chat, feel free. If you're to respond. So okay, back to my thought process. So I'm reading this. So here's my thing. Here's my poll. Where should I don't know if I want to say product document. Yeah, I do want to say product. Or feature documentation. Or API docs. Ooh, that's a good one. Because this is 100% how it ends up. Should API docs for your private, for your internal APIs live? This is the question. And again, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I was a little bit surprised at some of the stuff that I've seen like happen. But I don't think it's like bad. I guess I do not have a correct answer, so I'm kind of wanting to see what the answers are. In the repo, right? So this could be in a README, this could be in doc strings, this could be in generated Swagger docs. I guess generated Swagger docs are different. Where the API is in the with the API on a doc aggregation like this should be the fourth one. And then, where's another place you've seen people, like, put docs? I've seen it in the code. I've seen it, well, in the repo, okay. As a doc in the repo. E.g. Well, doc in the repo, like README, e.g. README, in as a comment in the code. Yeah, this is what I want. Okay. Let's put that on LinkedIn. What the F? Public transportation. There. LinkedIn lets you do 30 line. Here we go. Done. Done. Post. Do I have another one? I had something else I wanted to post as a poll, but I forgot what it was, so we'll just leave that there for later. But it had something to do with this comment thing. The reason, I guess, my thought is, I have trouble finding API docs, especially things like how to use an API when it's in the code with the API. Like, that for me is hard, especially if they're like single line things and it doesn't really generate into anything that's searchable. Not that code's not searchable, but and so that made me think about it. In Rust, idiomatic. Anyway, I also am prepping for this Friday's production Go patterns for memories and anti-memory, blah blah blah. And we talk about comments. Thank you for that follow, Dolex. I agree, but what if it is a private API, not a public API? I agree. Public API should always be on a website. But what about if it's private and internal? Should it be just on an intranet style web page, like something that's hidden? In Rust, idiomatic comment styles start from a comment with 2 slashes, and a comment continues until the end of the line. For comments that extend beyond a single line, you'll need to include / like this. Very simple. Look, it's normal English. Comments can also be placed at the ends of lines containing code. Yep, also pretty standard. But you'll more often than not see them used in this format with a comment in a separated line above the code it's annotated. Yep. Control flow. The ability to run some code depending on if a condition is true, or run some code repeatedly while a condition is true, are basic building blocks in most programming languages. Agreed. Which is why I have control flow as an entire section for my open source intro to programming, walkthrough. Okay, if expression allows you, anyway, for people just joining, this is my Rust practice pre-coding, just because I'm committing to learning Rust at some form. So if committing to do it every stream is it, see, there you go. If you have a secured access, I agree, it should be on a website, 100%. But what if you don't? Again, at my company, we do too. At Tailscale, that's literally what we do. We literally build private networks, so shouldn't be that hard. But, it's infrastructure, right? Infrastructure always has a cost. So I'm really interested to see what this poll says. Feel free to add your thoughts and comments to the thread as well. LinkedIn. Oh, I should reply to that. Okay. An if expression allows you to branch your code depending on conditions. To provide a condition and then state, if the condition is met, run this block of code. If condition is not met, do not run this block of code. Excuse me. To anybody who's ever taken a logic class, this is funny. It's been 7-8 years since I took my only logics class that I was required to take for the math minor. I didn't get. I would have gotten the math minor, but I got a D in differential equations because Mariah thought it would be a fantastic idea to take 17 credits that semester, and I got sick during that semester. I was so sick that semester with my 17 credits that I had to literally, and I was like, I don't want to withdraw, I don't want to retake this class, so I just took the D or C. I think it was a D, because otherwise C would have gotten me my math minor. I'm like, I just took the D, and it was the only D I had, and I still got decent GPA, so. Moral of the story, and also, I took 3 math classes after ordinary differential equations. So, it's not like I lost the material. I definitely learned the material. Anyway, I took the logics class for the math minor, and all I did was write proofs for an entire semester. And if you thought math was numbers, intro to proofs. Anyway, that's all control flow is mathematical proofs. So, all if expressions start with the keyword if, followed by a condition. In this case, a condition checks whether or not the variable number has a value less than 5. True. We place the block of code to execute the condition is true immediately after the condition inside the curly brackets. Blocks of code associated with the condition if expression are sometimes called arms. I never knew that they were sometimes called arms. Did you know that? Math sucks. Hi, Todd. That's the funny thing, though, Todd. You literally do maths every day. Software programming is maths. Programming is the literal expression of proofs. So, we just brute force it instead of finesse it, like writing proofs by hand is. Also, cocoa butter is apparently the key to proofs. Optionally, you can also include an else expression, which we choose to do here to give the program an alternative ending to the code block's execution. Ooh. Down for... Oh, nothing I care about's down. If you don't provide an else, it just means a lot of times we'll get alerts, and sorry, that makes it sound like something's breaking and I don't care. At work, if a service restarts, sometimes it'll send false alerts that it's gone down because the keep alive went off during a restart. It's an infrastructure problem, not an outage. And I, of course, get these alerts. You're 2 something something for math. Good to know. Good to know. But if you ever write a control flow statement, I want you to know, by definition, you are doing mathematics. So, whatever you want to take that as, Todd, that is maths. If you don't provide an else expression and the condition is false, the program will just skip the if block and move on. Something they don't teach you in school, but is super helpful. Let's try changing the number to a value that makes condition false. Oh look, the condition was false. If number, then 3. This now evaluates to a boolean. I was right. Okay. Booleans are also mathematical entities. So anytime you use a boolean, you're doing maths. You know, the last stream we talked a lot about what engineering was as a philosophy, and this time we're going to talk about mathematics and maths. Because I refuse to call it math. Math is not plural, it is singular, as in mathematic. But mathematics is plural, so it should be maths. Just so you know, in English we do treat math as a singular, and it should be plural. And I am no grammar genius, and I figured that one out. Handling multiple if-else. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Using a let statement. Oh, yes. Because if is an expression, you can use it on the right side of a let statement. That's true. To assign the outcome to a variable, listing as in 3-2, yes. Because let lets you define expressions, whereas const also lets you define expressions. It's interesting. Remember the block of code, evaluate the last expression, and then numbers by themselves are also expressions. In this case, the value of the whole if expression depends on which block of code executes, which means the value has the potential to be the result from each arm of the if. No. This means the values that have the potential to be results from each arm of the if must be the same type. Look. Thank you. Thank you. This is my Rust I am just trying to, I'm gonna get bored of reading. So, we'll just get through this first quiz and then I'll go back to my stuff. It's so much easier to do this by yourself, but I don't! Okay. The number variable is bound to a value based on the outcome of the if expression. Run this code. If condition 5, else 6. So, let number equals condition. So, if this condition is true, it'll be 5. If the condition is false, it'll be 6. We defined condition to equal true, so it was 5. Remember the blocks of code, evaluate to the last expression of them. Numbers by themselves are also expressions. In this case, the value of the whole if expression depends on which block of code execute. This means that the values that have the potential to be result from each arm of the if must be the same integer. Yeah, they can't have different types or else that would break. Right? This is a string versus a 5, that would break. Start. True or false. Executing these two pieces of code will result in the same value for if cond is 1, else it's 2. X. It usually let X. If cond X equals 1. Yeah, they're the same. Yes. X equals 1. Let Y equals if X, that won't compile because this needs a boolean. Oh cool, we did it. Yay! Now we can go back to our project. So we decided GraphQL was stupid. And that instead of doing this client run gobbledygook, we were going to just build a HTTP post. So we don't need you. Well, we'll define a client, but that's still wrong. So we get our bearer token. We have confirmed this worked. We can define our query, that's fine. But here we should make a client and make a request. A request.do. I get that because from here, right? If we just have a URL and we can do a post with a query, we should be fine. So we just need a go post because why not? No, we need to make a request. Yeah, and a client. There we go. Request. Error. HTTP request. That was literally what it said. We'll do the client in a minute. New request. Should I have this off the top of my head? Yeah, I usually do. Just not when I am streaming. If you ever wanted an excuse for your brain to not work, run a live stream. Your brain never works when you're running a live stream. And we will have a body here. That body will be our text. So this would be we can do a strings.newReader. I think I can just put the query in here. That should be a dot equals, and we can just pass that straight in. Notice I misspelled error there. Does it return an error? Yeah, it does. It usually does. Log.fatal error. Why didn't that add? Context is declared, but not used. It's used right here. What do you mean declared? Why are we redefining a context? We already have a context right there. We need to add that header, and we need to add another header. Not a header, a header. And this would be the JSON. Whoop-doop. And then we'll do http.newClient client error timeout equals time.second times 10. I am doing this, that's wrong. This also needs to be just a colon. And this can, if error does not equal nil. Log dot fatal. Did it not add the nil? Hey pups, got a pup on my feet. That's always the best part of my day, when there's a pup on my feet. Can I initialize two variables with one? Obviously, this is not a function. I knew that. Client is declared but not used. You're right, it is not used. We'll do response error equals client.do request. It is 2. Oh, that's because new client's a function. I just need a client. Data is not used. You're right, it is not used. .502 is not unauthorized. No, 502 is an internal error. Internal server exception. Obviously, I need to have some this is JSON. My payload's wrong. So this should be type struct and this would be is something like this. It's called... I think payload QL is funny because I call everything QL. Query string, and then this shouldn't need JSON tags, but I like JSON tags. And JSON tags, you do this. Right? I think I did it wrong. I think it's the other way. I did it wrong. What do you do JSON tags? Oh, I was right the first time. That's why the colors looked weird. You're right, it is. Query! This is gonna get mad at me for that, by the way. But I don't care. I can live with it for a minute. We're gonna... I should be able to do a JSON new encoder. Well, it's not used yet. An IO writer. You should be able to just do this, but I always do JSON.Marshall. It's log.fatal, not thumped log fatal. Log fatal error. And this will just be bytes, not bytes. Again, why use GraphQL when you can just use JSON? Like, literally, it's just a fancy JSON wrapper that people are selling as something else. Oh, look, it worked. That's good, see? Vanilla HTTP worked. It took us literally... I spent 4 hours on a stream last week for vanilla HTTP to just work, so... There you go. I guess the moral of the story is... Just use basic vanilla. Basic vanilla is the moral of the story. Okay, so now we can undo this. So now, if I was building a handler, I would be able to use the encoder decoder much more efficiently. Error JSON.unmarshal. And then we'll want a pointer to our response data. And now we'll just print that. Oh, I need to do we need a bytes. We need an io.readall. Or something like that. I'm blanking on how to write code today. Especially since my autocomplete doesn't work, and neither does my Copilot. I should take the time to act. Max, you gonna go get her? She might be barking at somebody that's walking along the back of the fence. Usually after my dog barks, she'll come and find me, so she might come say hi. Sometimes she barks because she wants to go to the bathroom. So we'll see. Oh, I got nothing. Should we just do a string on that? Usually there's a Marshall error. Data self null. So it's just straight up nothing. There is nothing for this ID. Uh-oh. I don't even have a name. That's no bueno. Apparently, if you are the owner of the Pro account, which I am not, then you have access to a GraphQL query UI. So I can't really go back and test this on their query engine, but that shouldn't matter. Assuming I have all the right code in all the right places, which I'm pretty sure I do. It's okay, we'll clean up the Git history later. Unless I wrote my query wrong, which I doubt I did. Because I'm getting, yeah, okay. So if I go back to the docs, maybe I formatted something wrong. But I'm doing this exact query, right? The payload is query self main ID. We have authorization bearer token, application JSON. And like this is pure JSON. Like if I were to just do this, right? I'm not wrong about that, am I? Am I all over the place? Why didn't that save and work? Is it because I didn't press save? Oh, I forgot to write strings. Why does it shouldn't care about the new lines, but let's just... how did they have it formatted? Yeah, with a space in between each one. I don't think the new lines matter. Yeah, it's identical. Query, query, self ID name. Again. A post with a payload. Authorization is bearer token. Application JSON is content type. And we have a query So. Oh, I remember. My other poll, my other question, I forgot about. Isn't there a chat GPT API? That's what I needed to... Okay, they can, yeah. So I just need to have an open API key, which I have. Cool. Oops, that's my phone number. We're gonna have to blur that out for the stream replay. Guess I'm not loading this one up to YouTube either. Stupid Twitter. I do not need more people texting me. I try to avoid that at all costs. I don't want anybody texting me ever. Well, now that this is done, now that this is dead in the water, what should we do next? That's the question. ID name? What? This is the exact same. This is the exact same. I'm like it's bear token. I'm using authorization. I'm using content type application JSON. It's the exact same. It's returning data just as with self equals null. And that's why I print 0, because it's not a thing. Well, if that's the case, that was, I mean, like, what am I gonna say? That was a quick 1 hour stream. Should we, take a break and come back and do something else? I'm wondering. Call this a horrible adventure of failure? Like, this is just... I'm doing this exact thing. Okay, well, let's try. I'm gonna just try. I don't know why that's giving me a 404, but whatever. That's a 3 subs. I only had 2 subs this morning. I'm so excited. I don't know who the 3rd sub is, but thank you. I'm gonna try running that curl command. But in order to do that, I need to get the bearer token, and I don't want that just hanging out on the stream. I've already got my phone number just hanging out on the stream. Somebody really needs to take some time and edit their YouTube videos. Okay, so I've got a couple of options for things to do next on the stream, but I definitely want to take a break before we do that. I don't know who's here, who's live. But we've got a couple of options. Option number 1 is we can work on the Twitter bot that I've been working on for a while. Option number 2 we can start building sorry. I need to finish what I was doing. Which is running this request. Okay, I did it. Look. It's still null. So, yeah, there's something wrong with our token. It's okay, so apparently my token's wrong. What token do I need then? Authentication. It says I need a... I just need a bearer token. Oh, I need an access token, not an authorization token. Again. Maybe I can use the token I already have to get that access token. Oh, it's... Okay. So now I'm back. I'm focused-ish. Focused-ish. Okay, so I was using the golang SDK, which is open source, so I can edit it myself. So at some point, call it connect. He's got some magical backend stuff somewhere I don't know about. He must. So I've got, okay, back to my options. So here are our options for all half of you watching. Oh, we got some people. We got some people watching. Okay. So again, this will happen after a break. Okay, so this is gonna be, we got 3 minutes for you to answer. So all of you lurkers, please participate too. No, let's give it 5 minutes. So this will be, what should we do? Oh, I should have edited. So this is, what are we gonna do after the break? So I'm gonna take a break, we'll come back. And we got some options. One is work on this, use the ChatGPT API and Rust, because I'm supposed to be learning Rust, right? To build a Twitch chatbot. I would want it to be able to detect chats, you know, important chats. and respond. Make chat a little bit more exciting. We would want, or we could work on this meetup API doc stuff. Trying to figure out the API token situation. I'm using a call a Go client SDK, so we would need to figure out the docs there, and if they have a built-in for getting the access token over the OAuth token, or if I'm going to need to make an open source commit to them. Oh, I should have put a fourth, just stop now and build Legos. Like, that's option 4. It's just stop now and build Legos. And then option 3 is work on an old project that's definitely not running right now. Which is a bot that shares YouTube videos on Twitter. So, which I should be leveraging for myself as well. Option 5 is take a nap. So, those are my options, and so you get to give your opinion as to what we should do next while I play Pokemon Go. I think it would be really fun to leverage the ChatGPT API and create a bot that would be more dynamic. So, I think it'd be really fun. I think something like this, a good AP could really be like, especially if it was on topic, right? So yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be nice to not have canned responses from me, but to have nice responses when I can't get to your topic or question? How's that? We got a couple more minutes. How are we doing? Did anybody vote? Nobody voted! I guess that means option stop stream and play Legos is a go. So, let's just do that. I'll come back later and we'll work on it. So, who is live now? Well, we will take off then. And we will see you maybe later today. Maybe another day this week. So definitely go have some fun.